Welcome to the PLZ Soccer Show. I'm Peter Martin. Alan Ruff is alongside me, and we are going to discuss today's main sporting stories in Scotland and England as well. And we'll also have a look at the Champions League. Why not? Bayern Munich against Real Madrid last night. Well worth our thoughts. Ruffy, when you get up this morning, you look at the Sun, the back page, it's the exclusive that keeps getting better and better. Suddenly Rangers are in talks with Steven Gerrard to become their new manager.
Yeah, I'm sure if the Rangers supporters believed that this could be the case, and I think they'd be right behind it. Again, we'll have to wait and see if it is going to be the case. It'd be interesting to hear from Steven Gerrard himself if that's the kind of job that would attract him to take his first shot at manager.
Well, what do you make of it as far as going to get Steven Gerrard to take over such a big club, a huge club at Rangers? And as you know, it's all-consuming.
Yeah, it certainly is, but obviously you've got to start somewhere, and I think the Rangers obviously see it as he's the kind of manager that would attract a better class of player. But as we keep talking about on this show, that costs money, and the money, the evidence of the money being in place to take that case doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, Ruffy, and I think it would be great if Steven Gerrard came to Scottish football. It would certainly raise the profile. It would certainly raise the interest in Scottish football again. But again, I question the validity of, one, a rookie manager taking over at Rangers, and it's such a colossal job. Two, what sort of budget is he going to be offered? Because one of the key elements of Derek McInnes walking away from potentially taking over as Rangers manager is he couldn't get any real confirmation in what his budget was out of Dave King. So what chance is Steven Gerrard?
No, if you're a new manager getting in there, the first thing you're going to get hit with is, we want you to challenge Celtic, we want you to possibly stop them for getting 10 in a row. That's going to cost money. There has been no evidence at Rangers of anybody there. There are people there with money, there's no doubt about that, but not with the kind of money that they're going to need to catch Celtic. So that would be the first thing I think the manager would be asking, that what kind of budget is he going to be working with? Well,
on YouTube, Scotsman says, does it need millions? They're still trying to win the league, and they've got to try and beat Rangers at the weekend, so that doesn't suggest there's a huge gap. But on the evidence of the last two games, I think there is a huge gap, Ruffy, between Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah, if you're talking about league championship, it's a long, long season for anybody. They don't have the depth and quality to compete with Celtic for the whole season. Yes, in a one-off game, it can always happen, but as you said, not in the evidence of the other week there. It was so one-sided. So Rangers have got a chance this weekend to rectify that.
Yeah, there's 10 games that have passed now, and Rangers haven't laid a glove on Brendan Rodgers, albeit a couple of them have been close, but they still haven't been defeated, Celtic. I just wonder, you know, this story is great for Scottish football, but I wonder about the appointment of a great player taking on this job. It reeks of the John Barnes appointment at Celtic all those years ago.
Yeah, again, as I keep saying, we have to wait and see the story to back this up. You know, obviously his name's been thrown in there, he won't mind that, but I'm sure over the next couple of days we'll get a vision of where Steven Gerrard wants his football management career to start.
Yeah, and the other aspect of this, if he were indeed to consider and take this job, he would need to get some experience in behind him to help guide him through the choppy waters and the madness of Glasgow.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly think there'll be enough people out there, and experienced ex-footballers who know what Rangers are all about, you know, and he would obviously tap into that. You know, it's always good to have somebody in the background who knows exactly what the club is, and I'm sure in the football world he'll know who these people are.
Okay then, we'll wait and see how that story develops. One of the other back pages we were talking about was still no mention to Lee Wallace and Kenny Miller about why they've been suspended. This one's going to drag on to the detriment of both players.
Yeah, I'm becoming a bit baffled by this whole scenario. You know, if you get two players who have been suspended are saying, what we suspended for, we never done anything wrong. That's their side of it. Obviously there is another side of somebody saying, yes, you were out of order, that's why we're suspending you. So until we actually know the hard facts, which will come out eventually, obviously with the Players' Union want to know what's happening with their players.
Okay, Aberdeen against Hearts, the Dons battling for second place. Hearts just battling for points and money, really, to be honest with you. Nothing else at stake for them. I think Aberdeen, on the evidence of what they did to Kilmarnock, are well up for the fight.
Yeah, I think they've now got something to go for. This second place seems to be the big one for Aberdeen and Europe as well, which I think is a bigger picture. I think they'll bounce back and they'll see it as a home tie. A disappointing Hearts side, obviously, against Rangers last week. I don't think they came out to play at all. They've got a horrendous away record. It's an Aberdeen win for me.
Okay, we've got to talk about the Champions League, Ruffy. It's just absolutely superb. You know, both nights. Although I have to say, if the game on the Tuesday night was scintillating, last night's was intriguing, if only for the fact I'm watching two top drawer sides making some of the poorest passes I've seen in a long time, especially Bayern Munich.
Yeah, you always think of these two teams and you think of, you know, the high profile players I've got. Ronaldo for me was never in the game. Yeah, I didn't see him doing anything at all.
Do you think he's lost
obviously it? No, I don't think he's lost it. But I'm a bit biased. I thought Bayern absolutely hammered them. You
what?
know,
did you?
Yeah, I thought chance after chance after chance. I mean, it needed the right person to be in the right place at the right time. I'm not happy with their goalkeeper. I think he is now my new bomb scare goalkeeper.
Yeah, Navas.
Yeah, I don't think he's top drawer at all. And it just shows you that, again, Real Madrid, although they won the game, if you can get at them, as it proved in the last round as well, they're vulnerable. But unfortunately for Bayern, they never took their chances, and it might just be too late for them.
Yeah, it might be too late for them, eh? Yeah, because you're hurting, and just in case you've just joined us and thinking to yourself, what's Roffy on about? Of course, I gave you a second choice. You could have Bayern Munich. You have Bayern Munich now on the verge of going out. You're not seriously suggesting they're going to the Bernabeu to win, are you?
Yeah, I think they have to, obviously. Yeah. Obviously for me to get my team into the final.
Oh, but they have to go there, but they're going to get battered.
I think we saw some crazy results in this Champions League. It would have to be another crazy result for Bayern to go through.
Do you think they've got to try and replicate what Juventus were able to do, and then hope that the referee doesn't give Real Madrid a dodgy penalty in the last minute?
Well, there's every chance that might happen. So I think the only chance that Bayern have got is to equal that result last night and take it into penalties.
Just out of curiosity, if Bayern get pumped out of the tournament, do you want another choice at the end of this? I mean, is that the way we're going here to try and get you to win something?
Well, obviously you won't let me pick Liverpool, so I'll have to take Real.
Not a catch chance. Anyway, Liverpool, it's just like the world football nowadays. No sooner does Mo Salah produce a world-class performance, 5-2, and now everybody's talking about Real Madrid are going to bid 200 million for him. I think that's just to unsettle them if they do meet them in the final.
You can't take anything away from this year. The amount of goals that he scored and the quality of the goals he scores is fantastic. I think if you're going up with 200 million, you'd want the evidence of another season like this one to break into 200 million for him. I think, look at the season Jamie Vardy had. You know, absolutely magnificent season. Next season, hardly anything at all. I'm not saying that I'm comparing the both of them, but if I was going to splash out 200,000, I'd want to see if he can do this at a consistent level.
Yeah, what about, well, if you're going to splash out £200,000,
$2 million.
Yeah, you're not going to get much. 200 million more like Ruffy. That's Mo Salah's son you're buying for £200,000. That's not Mo Salah. Okay, so you can give us your thoughts on all things football. Of course, at the weekend, Ruffy, the countdown continues. Two big things at the weekend I'm really looking forward to. In fact, there's 3 or 4 to be honest with you. I'm wondering if Inverness can sneak into the playoff places, if Dunfermline will slip up against Dumbarton. Don't see it. But on the Sunday, it's Celtic against Rangers, and then we're off to the PFA Awards, Ruffy, with a whole cast of everybody behind the scenes here. We're taking Barry Ferguson, we're taking Simon Donnelly, we're taking Gary Harkins, who good lad, and we're going to be there en masse at the PFA Awards. Looking forward to see who picks up an award. Hopefully somebody picks up the award that you've actually seen play football, Ruffy.
No, I think it's a highlight of a footballer's career. When I played, it was always good if somebody from your club get nominated. You all go there in bulk, you have a nice night, and if perchance your player wins it, it makes the night even better. And I think obviously you host the whole night and keep it going. together and keep everybody in check, because sometimes there are some clubs just take it too far.
Yeah, absolutely. But enough about Motherwell. Michael Higdon will be there, by the way.
Wow.
It's the 40th anniversary of the PFA Awards, so previous winners are all coming back. It's going to be a nostalgic night, and I still can't forget, Ruffy, you know, we were sitting, we're standing in a bar in Glasgow, chatting to Michael. He offered to buy us a drink, and when we were waiting on the drink, the next minute he was huckled into the back of a wagon, and off he went.
Yeah, and I think I have to say he went quietly.
Yeah, absolutely, so he did. Anyway, it's the first time a PFA Player of the Year was huckled and then eventually let out of the police cell. Great times at Scottish football's nights out. Can't wait for it. Celtic Rangers, we're going to continue to talk about it tomorrow. We'll get Barry Ferguson in the chair there, and then we're all going to give our prediction, Ruffy, for Celtic against Rangers, and no doubt we'll interact with everybody on that choice as well. Just as a footnote before we finish, what about Arsenal Atletico Madrid tonight, Ruffy?
Yeah, Atletico's a team of mine. I like them. I don't think they play exciting football. I think they're really difficult to beat. It's usually nothing each, 1-0, and then they scrape through. But
well, hang fire. I mean, they're second in La Liga.
Yeah.
They're 11 points behind Barcelona. They're 4 ahead of Real Madrid.
Yeah, I would be astounded if they score more than 1 goal tonight.
Who, Atletico? Yeah. Arsenal to win by a couple?
No, 1 each.
1 each. Okay, I'll go Arsenal to win 2-1 on this one. You might have your own view on that. You can actually click on to www.plzsoccer.com. You get some special offers on there as well. Don't forget, if you want to interact with us, you can. It's Facebook Live at PLZ Soccer. And also on Twitter at PLZ Soccer. And let's not forget YouTube. If you like the show, subscribe, tell your friends, pass it on, share it around. We'd love to have you on board. And if you download the PLZ Soccer app, if you click on Video Reporter, record a message. If we use your video on the show in the forthcoming weeks, we'll be sending you out a little prize, a little present to say thank you. A little bit of football memorabilia, Ruffy.
Yeah, there's lovely. Can I tell? It's T-shirts and
prints,
posters and prints and everything.
All to do with your favourite players, world stars, the lot.
Yep, wonderful.
Going. Yeah.
Can I get one?
Only if you can you record a video for us and just give us something sensible on it, and then we'll be happy to give you a prize, Ruffy. Join us if you can tomorrow, 12:30. We'll do the papers, give you all the headlines, and then Ruffy will be back with me along with Barry Ferguson to talk football in the weekend. We'll also discuss Manchester United against Arsenal. It's Arsenal's last chance to go to Old Trafford, stand in the stand and say, where's my seat? Because somebody else will be taking his Arsenal seat in the new season. 22 years. Can he sign off at Old Trafford with a win against Manchester United? We'll discuss that among other things. The battle to beat the drop in the Premier League. We'll also discuss the story emerging today that one person has made an £800 million bid for Wembley. Interesting times ahead there. Will the FA take the money and run? All on tomorrow's show. From Ruffy, from myself, thanks for watching.